So John Delaney, mid-debate, decided to shove his head in a waffle iron. Here he is for no reason, taking an incredibly unpopular position.
If they can save a nickel by moving a job to Mexico, they'll do it in a heartbeat. If they can continue a polluting plant by moving it to Vietnam, they'll do it in a heartbeat. I have put out a new comprehensive plan that says we're not going to do it that way. We're going to negotiate our deals with unions at the table, with small businesses at the table, with small farmers at the table, with environmentalists at the table, with human rights activists at the table. And then we're going to use the fact that everybody in the world wants to get to America's markets. They want to sell to you.
Congressman Delaney, sorry.
Everyone wants to get to America's markets. Senator. No, so the question is,
Senator, thank you. Please abide by the rules. Congressman Delaney, it's your turn. Thank you, Senator. Congressman Delaney.
So that was the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I think President Obama was right. He did include environmental standards. He did include labor standards. We would be in an entirely different position with China if we had entered the Trans-Pacific Partnership. We can't isolate ourselves from the world. We can't isolate ourselves from Asia. Senator Warren's plan basically that she put out, we would not be able to trade with the United Kingdom. We would not be able to trade with the EU. It is so extreme that it'll isolate the American economy from the rest of the world.
Senator.
Senator
Warren.
Senator
Sanders, please let Senator Warren respond.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What the congressman is describing as extreme is having deals that are negotiated by American workers for American workers.
By the way, that total and complete evisceration continues. That's exactly correct. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are exactly correct. John Delaney is totally cool with trade deals negotiated by the giant multinational corporations who are going to benefit from those deals. And when I say they, I mean the owners of those corporations, the executives. And they're going to screw over their own workers. They're going to outsource more jobs. But he's totally fine with those corporations negotiating the deals and then him signing off on it with that smug-ass grin he always has on. You do understand that deal was negotiated in secret. It was... Members of Congress weren't able to look at it until much later on. Think about that. We know under that deal, they have international tribunals which settle disputes between respective governments and corporations, and it takes away the way functioning civilized societies work is as follows. A state, a country can make a law, and the corporations have to abide by that. Under the TPP, it takes away the sovereignty from the respective states, and you solve any disputes in an international tribunal. And you know who gets to pick who runs the international tribunals? The corporations. So, in other words, let's say one of the countries involved in the TPP says, hey, Corporation X, you keep polluting our rivers. It is making kids sick in this village. We passed a law against it. The corporation could say, no, agree to disagree. Let's take it to the International Tribunal. And then the International Tribunal could say, that state has no ability to tell the corporation they can't pollute that river. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds extreme, but this is a matter of public record. We know that this was part of the TPP. We know that this was the International Tribunal, and we know how these things function because they always function like this. They always function in favor of the people with money and power who control the process every step of the way. Under TPP, corporations can sue for loss of expected future profits. Are you kidding me? It would 100% lead to more outsourcing. We know the impact of NAFTA. We know the impact of permanent normal trade relations with China, which was even worse than NAFTA. There needs to be incredibly strong pro-worker, pro-union, pro-environmental rules and regulations in these trade deals. But guess what? When you say, we're not allowing labor at the table for these negotiations, you never get deals that are good. You never get deals that are pro-worker and pro-environment. So all Elizabeth Warren is asking for, all Bernie Sanders is asking for is fair trade. Hey, let's stop outsourcing good-paying American jobs. Let's have rules and requirements for companies to do business in the United States of America. If we're going to set up a trade deal, let's make sure that the trade deal is fair. So they want fair trade. John Delaney, Barack Obama, and all the Republicans who supported TPP and the corporate Democrats, they don't care about fair trade because they are very sympathetic to the corporations. So the idea you just flat out make an argument for TPP, are you kidding me? If it was John Delaney versus Donald Trump would actually obliterate John Delaney. I think Donald Trump would easily win an election against John Delaney, but that's okay. Fear not. Don't worry, guys. The dude's polling at 1%, and he's going nowhere but down.